Hi, I'm Tianyao Wang. My topic is plans by prevent company like SpaceX to establish permanent settlement on Mars is not too distant future. However, the 100 Mars pioneers in 2025 survive and worthy return to Earth. North America is the origin of colonies. Most South American today are distant of those colonies. If it's hard enough just to establish new colonies on Earth, it's even harder to go to another planet and create new worlds. However, with increasing of population and environmental degradation, colony on Mars is considered nowadays. The 100 Mars pioneers selected by SpaceX will have to go through some special training and preparation if they want to survival. Step 1. Mining. SpaceX will launch two material starships to Mars ahead of the arrival of Starship carrying 100 pioneers and land at predetermined location. They are filled with equipment, fuel, water, and food needed for early Mars development, including large solar panels, mining equipment, and life support system. Mining is one of the most important jobs for the first Mars pioneers. Fuel equipment will collect large amounts of carbon dioxide and hydrogen from Mars and use step-peer reaction to generate methane and water. Methane can be used as a return to Starship fuel, and the significance of water is needless to say. After 5 to 7 months of flight, the first star carrier with 100 volunteers will reach orbit and face a challenge. They will reach the ground by the Starship's external elevator. Before fuel equipment and mining equipment assembled, the first is to set up a temporary base at the surface of Mars. The base will be similar to the International Space Station, adopts the modular assembly including living space and a huge greenhouse which can simulate the Earth's environment to grow some vegetables and fruits and provide them with outside space food choices. Although there are enough space food on Starship for 2 years, no one wants to eat liquid food every day. To facilitate the explorers' movements, there are also equipment rovers provided by NASA, which can carry multiple people for 72 hours and up to 200 kilometers away. Earlier, Mars probes has shown that the Martian soil contains 2% of water, since Mars' atmospheric pressure is only 1% of Earth. All of the water on the surface of Mars has evaporated. This suggests that there are extensive underground lakes in some part of Mars. So in addition to mining, an important mission to get to Mars would include finding these underground lakes. Vast amounts of liquid water or liquid water ice can be identified on Mars' north and south poles. Step 2. Establish a base. The temporary base on the surface of Mars is only for the pioneers to use it in a transaction way at first. Since there's no vegetation or stable liquid water on the surface of Mars, the dust could form terrible dust storms. Such high radiation dust storms could cause serious damage to equipment and personnel on the surface of Mars, so long-term settlement on Mars would have to be on the ground or in a protective dome. Back in 2016, NASA held a competition for 3D printed Mars base, asking the world to come up with ideas for Mars permanent settlement. The scheme provided by a company named Harsa was selected. The project uses soil and minerals from the surface of Mars to create a protective structure, which is why it's important to get to Mars and mine. This kind of protective cover adopts elliptical structures with excellent wind resistance and resistant performance. Inside are inflatable poles made of high-strength materials that can be unrolled in minutes to form a fully dunkable cabin. The devices will be set separately to Mars and assembled using modular robots that can be assembled into vehicles for different purposes, transporting materials such as soil and processing them into finer particles. Eventually, within a few months, they will print out a solid shell. The shell will have been printed when the Martian pioneers land on Mars. The explorers will spend the next 6 to 8 months perfecting the interiors of Martian base, such as electrical power and life support systems, which are significant for their first home for Mars pioneers. Maintaining physical and mental health is also important for colonization of Mars. And scientists are aiming to make Mars a beautiful place to live, not just a research environment. This is a key factor in the emergence of humans as a multiplanetary species, which would be a huge step for humans to explore the universe. That's all my presentation. Thank you.